Hey everyone, and welcome. So, you're a chemistry graduate, and maybe you're a little worried about what comes next. Well, you've come to exactly the right place. Today, we're building your personal playbook for landing a seriously high-paying job in 2026. Let's get right into it. First things first, let's just tackle this head on. This myth. A lot of you are probably feeling this, right? This worry that your degree is just a ticket to kind of boring, repetitive lab work for not a lot of money. And look, it's a totally fair concern, but I'm here to tell you that the game has completely changed. The reality for 2026 is all about something called Chemical Industry 4.0. Now, this is not just some fancy buzzword, okay? It's a full-on digital revolution. We're talking about automation, AI, and this massive global push for sustainability. These things are reshaping the entire industry, and they're creating some incredible new jobs for people just like you. So, to help you navigate this whole new world, we've put together a 6-step playbook. We're going to look at why the industry is booming, map out some very specific high-paying jobs, build your digital toolkit, craft an application that gets noticed, absolutely ace the interview, and then, the best part, secure that amazing offer. All right, step 1. Let's talk about this new chemistry boom. You can forget all the old stereotypes. Today's industry is being supercharged by AI that can run simulations and discover new drugs faster than ever before. Plus, with the whole world focused on green chemistry, companies are desperate for specialists who can work on everything from EV batteries to biodegradable plastics. So, how does all this boom and growth turn into an actual job for you? Well, that brings us to step 2, mapping your high-paying path. We're going to focus on what the source material calls the elite entry-level roles. These are the jobs that just blow those old, modest salary expectations out of the water. And first on that elite list is the patent analyst. This is a really cool job where you get to live right at the intersection of brand new chemical discoveries and the legal world of patents. You're not just mixing things in a lab, you're literally protecting the next huge scientific invention. And the earning potential? Whoa. As a patent analyst, you could be looking at a starting salary of up to 12 lakhs per annum, or LPA. Now, for those not familiar, that's 1.2 million rupees a year. Let that sink in. This is, right now, the highest paying entry-level gig a BSc chemistry grad can get in this market. So what's the catch? What does it take? Well, it's a really unique blend of skills. Of course, you need that solid chemistry knowledge, but you also need to understand patent law, have really sharp analytical skills, and be obsessed with the details. It's a hybrid role for a new hybrid world. Another one of these elite jobs is the Clinical Research Associate, or CRA. In this role, you are right there on the front lines of developing new medicines. You're managing clinical trials for new drugs, making sure all the data is perfect, and everything is following super strict safety rules. It's a high-stakes, high-reward job, especially in the pharma industry, with salaries usually starting between 6 to 9 LPA. This one's all about being organized and knowing those regulations inside and out. Okay, step 3. This is where we get really tactical. Your degree is the foundation, but building your digital toolkit, well, that's what's going to make you stand out. The source even suggests it's what can literally double your salary. So let's ask a direct question here. What are the specific skills that are going to make a hiring manager in 2026 look at your resume and say, yes, this is the one? Because I'll tell you right now, it's not just about knowing your way around a beaker anymore. Now, this slide is so important because of how specific it is. Top companies are looking for people who've actually used chromatography data systems, like Empower 3. They want to see that you know your way around a LIMS, which is a laboratory information management system. And if you know regulatory guidelines like GMP, that's good manufacturing practices, and GLP, good laboratory practices, oh, that is absolute gold on a resume. Which brings us perfectly to step 4. You've got the knowledge, you've got the digital skills. Now, how do you put it all together in an application that a hiring manager will actually read and get excited about?
Okay, let me put on my hiring manager hat for a second. When I'm looking at a giant stack of resumes, I'm scanning for one thing: impact. So don't just say you assisted with a project. Tell me you optimized a reaction that increased the product yield by 15%. See the difference? Put numbers on it. And you better believe I'm searching for keywords like LIMS and Empower 3. That's what makes a resume pop.
Now, as you're building that resume, you're going to face a big decision. Are you chasing the long-term stability that often comes with a government job, or are you aiming for the highest possible salary, which is usually found in the private sector? There's no right or wrong answer here, but it's a choice you have to make for yourself.
And this table just lays it all out. You can see the patent analyst in the private sector has that super high ceiling, but then look at the scientific assistant in a government group like BARC or DRDO, the Baba Atomic Research Center, or the Defense Research and Development Organization. That's a really competitive salary, plus you get amazing stability and benefits. A QA or a QC officer in a big pharma company is another great stable career path. It really just comes down to what you value most.
Okay, so your amazing resume worked, you got the interview. Now it's time for step 5, acing it. And I'm keeping my hiring manager hat on because there are a few key questions that always separate the good candidates from the ones who get the offer.
I can almost guarantee you'll get a question just like this, especially for jobs in pharma. And they're not just checking if you can define a GMP. They want to hear how you actually put it into practice. Your answer has to show that you're serious about quality and following procedures. So have an example ready. Talk about a time you applied these rules. That's what they really want to hear.
And here's another one. They might literally hand you a material safety data sheet, an MSDS, and ask you this question. This isn't a theory quiz. It's a real-world test of your safety awareness. Knowing your safety protocols isn't just a nice-to-have. For many companies, it's a deal breaker. You did it. You crushed the interview, and they've just sent you an offer. We're at the final and maybe the most important step in our playbook, how to negotiate and secure the high salary you absolutely deserve. Here's your simple 3-step plan. 1. Do your research. Know what the market is paying for this role. 2, and this is so important, clearly explain how your digital skills add value to their company. Say something like, my experience with LIMS will allow me to get up to speed faster and ensure data integrity from day 1. And finally, negotiate from a position of strength. Remember, you're not just another chemistry grad. You are a modern chemist with a high-value digital toolkit. So there you have it. That's the playbook. The whole myth about a chemistry degree leading to a low-paying job, it's just that, a myth. The reality is this exciting, growing industry that's looking for people with the right skills and the right strategy. You have the degree, you know the skills you need to learn, and now you have the playbook. So the only question left is, what high-paying career are you going to build first?